Hi, and welcome to episode 21 of Crystal T Knits. My name is Tara. I'm coming to you from White Plains, New York. This is a knitting and crochet podcast. You can follow me on Ravelry and Instagram at Crystal T Knits. I also have a Ravelry group, Crystal T Knits, where we are currently doing a blanket cow. So any blanket that you have knitted or crocheted within the year of 2018, feel free to enter. I will be closing the thread at December 31st, so you have plenty of time to knit and crochet those blankets. So, and also I would like to say a big thank you to Meg from Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits for announcing the cow on her podcast. Thank you so much. She has been so sweet announcing it every single week for me. And she's currently moving, so good luck on moving. And thank you again. And also I would like to thank the viewers. Anyone that's just tuning in, thank you so much for checking out my podcast. I hope you enjoy it. And anyone that has come back, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy this. I have a lot of content this week because I haven't podcasted in 2 months. I've had a little bit of crazy in my life. As you all know, my life is completely out of control craziness. And basically, well, first of all, my son started school, so that month was gone when he started. He was just trying to get into the swing of things. My mother also had a little setback, so she was in rehab for a month, and then I had to get used to people coming in and out of the house constantly to take care of her for physical therapy, OT, nurses, aides. It's been a lot, in and out, and I don't like people going in and out of my house, so yeah. And then I did a really crazy thing. My son hit a ball into the bushes. And it was not my son, his friend hit the ball. If my son did, I wouldn't care. But he was very upset, my son, that the ball got lost. So crazy me goes into the bushes and starts chopping it down. And I took the entire bush out, which I was very happy because there was just a lot of deadness back there. But I got hit with a branch, big black and blue right here. It didn't hurt, it just swelled up, was bad. My husband had like a breakdown when he saw me. And then I think I got poison oak. I'm not sure. It might have been a combination of poison oak and, as I said, a lot of people coming in and out of the house, so I got mosquito bit. Like, I got bit over 20 times. They left the door open to my garage, and I killed about 7 mosquitoes. So they were having a complete feast on me. So my whole legs are completely full of mosquito bites. My arm, I think it was poison oak on my arm. I'm not sure. So all that once, I was really sick for a while because of the nonsense. So that is why I did not podcast in the month of September. I am so sorry for not doing that. I'm hoping to get back on this strict podcast regime of doing it the first week of every month. Keep your fingers crossed. That's what I'm doing. So enough of the chatter, I guess you could call it. I don't know. And I have more. Oh, stay tuned. There's a story about a bat. Yes, at the end of the podcast, there's a story about a bat. You want to check it out. But I'll get straight to the knitting. So I went on Instagram and I took a picture of all my FOs. I had a lot of FOs. A whole lot. And I'm like, this is a little ridiculous how many FOs I have in these random project bags or projects that I do want to knit one day. So I've been just seriously like, I'm going to make a dent in these things. And I did. I made a nice dent. And I'm very happy about that. The first project that I am ecstatic that I finished, sorry, it's a big mess over here. It's like craziness what I got. Okay, so the first one, this was an oldie. And also, I don't know why, I do love blue and greens. A lot of my projects are blue and greens. Like, my favorite color is purple. You know, you think I'd be knitting in purple? It was so many blues and greens. But this is my, what do you call it? Widesmeer Shawl by Wool and Vine. So excited. Is the front? It is the front. I was right. It's out of her yarn, Wool and Vine yarns. The Lady of Shalott. Right? No, Lady of the Lake. That's her on her Blitz base. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love this colorway. Look at that. Look at that yarn. It's so much prettier in person. It's a little bit more greenish than it's coming out in the camera. Oh, and then look at this bind off. Like, I love applied borders. I really do. The only problem I had when I knitted this was I didn't think I had enough yarn. So I ordered another skein from her, and why I stopped knitting this when I did was the skein was a lot lighter than the original skein I started. So I didn't really want to do the applied border with switching yarns, and I was going to do just a applied border. I was hoping to get another skein that was a lot darker, because I like the borders to be darker than the main shawl. It's just something my personal preference for it. So then she announced on her podcast that there was a dye that got discontinued. At that point I was like, it's never going to happen that I'm going to get the exact same color I had, or a little bit darker, because the color is going to change. She changed one of her dyes. I don't know if it was an important dye or not, but at that point I was just like, you know what, I'm biting the bullet, I'm gonna do it. So when I did it, because there is yarn overs at the very end, I couldn't switch the yarn at the it was slip stitch, that's what it was. It was slip stitch at the very end. So I couldn't change the yarns at the very last thing. So what I did was, on the wrong side row, I would get to the last 2 stitches of the row, and you have to change to a knit stitch at that point, so I would switch the yarn at that. And it's not really that noticeable. Like, I don't even see, I think it made a nice little pattern when I was switching the stitches, because I did it at that point. And I was a little bit worried that it was going to be too loose, but I think it came out really nice, actually. I was texting my friend Katie and saying, I think it's going to be really, really loose compared to the rest of the shawl. I don't know if this is going to work. And I just kept going, and it came out fine. Like, I think this is the beginning part I did. So it might be a little bit looser in the beginning, just trying to get used to switching the skeins. I've never done that before. But look how gorgeous that border is. Oh my gosh. I love this. I think this is one of my favorite ones. I really do. Just the color, everything about this I'm in love with. I hope to one day, yet again, I say this with a lot of skeins of yarn I work with, but one day get a sweater quantities of this. I would wear this constantly, this color. It's just so gorgeous. If you can get a skein of Lady of the Lake from Villa Von Yarns, get it. It's phenomenal. I loved every minute working on this shawl. I really did. Between the yarn and the pattern, it's gorgeous. I made mine a little bit bigger because I like larger shawls. So I don't remember. I did this on a size 5 needle. I think it originally called for a size 4 needle or 3 needle. I'm not too sure, but I know I went up a few sizes. And usually when I do a gauge, I go down a needle. So I went up, and so gorgeous. Look at this. I love it. I can't say enough about this. It's amazing. Just like the fans and everything. And I was waiting to get this yarn because I kind of like the idea, because Wildesmeer is basically German for the sea or something, she said. And I thought it was so cool because Lady of the Lake, you know? So I thought this was really nice to do it. And also it looks like fish and mermaids' tails over there, you know? Like scales. So I thought this would be really nice to do in this yarn. I love this. Oh, I'm going to wear this so much this fall, if it ever gets cold. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in New York lately. We go from blazing hot summer to ice cold winter. There's no more spring, no more fall. I don't understand it. It's driving me nuts. But those are the breaks, right? Yeah. So my other project I finished was my surprise shawl by Helen Stewart. I made this out of Hue Loco yarns, and it is in her I Can't Even colorway. I got this last year at the Indie Untangled show right before Rhinebeck, and she was vending there, and I went a little loco for her yarn. I went crazy buying it. I don't know what I was thinking, but I love this. It just came out beautiful. And I wasn't crazy about this green, but then when I was knitting it, I saw that I was in here, and I was like, you know, I'm going to deal with it. And I'm glad I did. I really enjoyed it. It's a beautiful knit to do, and it's a great way to use your mini, so I would definitely recommend you using this. So that was that one. Then my other FO, yes, I've got 3 people, is my Twinkle Twinkle blanket by, again, Helen Stewart, my favorite of Curious Handmaids. This is out of Knit Picks yarn in what is it? The Gloss DK. It's Tranquil and Sterling. And this is for my son, Nicky. I made it quite larger. I think you only had to do like 15 repeats for DK, and I ended up going up to 20 or 21 repeats. Oh, I got 21 of these bumps here. 20 or 21 of them for the thing. So that's why it's so big. My son is 5 years old. He's not a baby anymore. And I'm now currently making it also same exact yarn, but in the, what colorway is this? This is actually, I'm so oh God, so upset. They have discontinued a lot of colors for this yarn. I'm devastated. This is my go-to DK weight yarn. I can't really afford buying indie dye or DK. To make a project, you have to buy so much of it. Where fingerling, you just need 1 or 2 skeins, and that's fine. So I usually buy this, and all the colors I like, they're discontinued. I wish I had so much money so I could buy sweater quantities of so many of these. And I want to make a campfire cardigan out of it. I don't know if I'm going to get the color I want, but okay, it's discontinued. All the pastels, they're discontinuing. Very disappointing. But, oh, this is a winter's night. And then the border is going to be black. I got, how many repeats have I done so far? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on 7th repeat. I've actually been carrying this around in a project bag I made. Where is it? Because it's just so easy to carry this little bit around. I don't even see it right now. I'll show you the project bag later when I find it. It's a big pile of stuff here. I've been very busy. But I enjoy making this baby blanket. I think it's really pretty. And the colors I did again, my son is named after Dick Grayson, who is Nightwing, and the original Robin from Batman, because I named my sons as, their middle names as superheroes. So Nightwing's colors is like a bright blue, sort of royal blue, and it's black. So that's why his colors are this. And my son, Nicky, I always said his signature color was this type of green. And it's really funny because he loves Hulk. So anytime he sees green, he goes Hulk. So it's hysterical because that's now his favorite color. And I picked out when he was a baby, that's the color that he looked best in was green. I don't know. Crazy coincidence. I'm happy. I love it. So there's that. Okay. So that's it for the FOs. So I have 2 hos. I got a sock. Yes, that's right. I finished a sock. This sock I actually originally cast on last year around Halloween. But, well, first of all, the pattern is Diagon Alley from the Knitting X-Pack. Because of the pattern, I think the only size you could, or the smallest size you could cast on was 64 stitches. Unfortunately, I don't know what happens when I knit socks, but I seem to go down like to really, really small needles, and I have to get rid of stitches. So I originally did this in a size 0 needle in the 64 stitches, and it was so big on me. And when I picked it up again, I was like, maybe it'll fit, because my feet got a little bit bigger because of the pregnancy. It was too big. Way too big. So I was like, that's it, I'm ripping it out. I ripped the whole entire thing out, and within a day and a half, I finished this. This pattern is amazing. Check it out. It's so easy to do. Again, a day and a half I did the sock. The only reason why the other one's not done is because it's so simple, I can carry it around with me. So I've just been doing it as my going outside the house knitting. So I've been leaving it in my pocketbook. So this yarn is the Cozy Knitter in her Frankenfeet colorway. I love it. I'm doing this now in a size 0 needle. What millimeter for everyone that's not American? It is... Oh, I have the old one on. Okay, I don't know what a size 0 is right now. Anything on here for size 0? Oh, it's a size US 0 needle. And I'm doing it at 48 stitches. Which is probably why it flew off the needles too, because I got rid of 12 stitches. Right? No. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't 64 stitches now. I know I got rid of 12 stitches. Each repeat was 6. And so I took 6 from the back and 6 from the front. So it would be even. So that's how I got this. And it works fine for me. And I'm going to cast on the pencil socks from the Yarn Enabler. And again, hers was again 60 something stitches. And I'm just going to, again, do 48 stitches in a size 2 needle. That's how I'm going to get away with that. I'm really excited about knitting that. That's going to be fun. So that's going to be probably my next sock I'm going to cast on. Yay! Love it. And then my other sock, I have an FO of, and I'm working on. Oh, let me show you how far I got in it. The other one too. I did start the other sock. This is again in my Harry Potter bag that I made myself. That's how far I got. I'm using my Higher Sharps. That's them. I got the heel on, and now I'm just taking my time because I love knitting this when I'm outside the house. I love patterns that you can memorize and you don't have to bring the pattern with you. It just makes you so happy. All right. And now in my Ginger Snap That Gilmore Girls Luke Steiner bag. How cute is this? And then the back is donuts. Come on. Any Gilmore Girl fan needs this bag, let me tell you. I fell in love with it. And I don't really do that many small projects. But right now I have in here, I have the pencil socks. When I do that, I'm going to put it in here. So I have all the pencil sock yarn. How cool is this yarn? Look at this. And then, where's the other one? And the other one, well, I had to roll it up, but it's black in here. It looks just like a pencil. She's genius. Amanda is genius. But I also have my socks for the Curious Handmade, again, Helen Stewart Magnolia socks. Where's Magnolia? Yes. Ooh, I'm good. And I'm doing these on a US, oh, these are US 0, 2mm. That's the needle. So these I was just doing in her small size, and they fit me perfectly. I forgot how many stitches are. So that's the one I'm working on currently. Again, I just got the heel on. I love cables, but I don't like working with them. I find the projects that I have cabling in, it takes me quite a long time. I have to be in the mood for it, and once I get in the mood for it, then I'm able to do it. So I'm hoping to get these done just to power through so I could start the pencil socks, because I only like having one pair of socks on the needles at a time. This is very rare I have two at once. It was just because I had that Diagon Alley already cast on, and I'm trying to get through my project bags because this is like craziness how much I have. And this is the finished one. How gorgeous is that sock? And these colors, again, this is the Cozy Knitter. It's Old Romance. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so beautiful. I love it. This is going to be a nice sock to wear, because these are my colors right here. And I'm really, really obsessed with knitting with the greens and the pinks together. Like, I don't know, or greens and purples together. This is just my thing. I'm obsessed with it. So I'm really excited to wear these socks. Definitely want to get this done soon. Okay, so that's that one. Not a lot. It's like OCD how much I did. Okay, so let me get on to, what do I want to do? Oh, let me do the blanket cow. So again, this is my entry to, technically, Twinkle Twinkle is one entry. Again, I can't enter because it's a contest, but if I were entering, this is what I would be entering. And then this is the textured granny blanket. Gorgeous is this thing. How, oh my gosh. These colors, I just can't. I love crocheting this. I really do. This is where I was at the last time I podcast. And I just picked it up the last 3 days, I think it was, and I did all this. One stitch is a little bit finicky. I don't really like doing it, and then the other row is very simple to do. So, again, I have to do this when I'm in the mood because of that finicky stitch, and it takes forever to do a row. Like, you probably don't think that that's a lot. It's a lot. You know, and I'm also going to make this into a blanket for me, not for a kid. So I do have to get more of this yarn. It's from Mary Maximum. And it is Prism, the base color, and then the color is Rain Shower. It's like all my colors. It's blue, greens, purples. All I need is pink, and I'd be like, this is my colors. But I think also, I don't know if pink would go with this, because these look so good together. And I did end up cutting out, remember last time I said that there was all of a sudden a weird jump from blue to lime green? And the way the sequence goes is blue to purple to lime green to light blue to lime green to purple, and then it goes back to the blue. So it drove me crazy that it was such a drastic jump, and they sort of fade into each other, the colors. So I just did not like it, because when it was in the middle of one of these little rainbows, I call them, or fans or whatever, it was just, you know, you could see the big difference. Where when I joined the yarn again, I don't know if I can find it, honestly. I've been trying to be really good at joining the colors, so I try to get to the part in the yarn that matches, or find the skein that will match perfectly. And I think I even lost a skein, I don't know, but I think it's over here. You can't even see really. It was this is the blue, and then it jumped all of a sudden to purple, and in the middle of this one, you see, you can't see it. I did so well in hiding it. So that was driving me crazy. So I did, and I put it down a long time because that was driving me so crazy. And finally I was like, I'm biting the bullet. I'm just going to add it on. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to cozy up in this. I just go staring at it and petting it. Cause it's just, look how pretty it's folded up. Like, look at that. I just love it. So I'm hoping to get that done soon. But of course, reality, I don't think it's going to be done soon, because I have to order the yarn. And I can't really order anything right now. So I'll talk about that later too. More drama. I hate it. But so let's do oh, another long-standing whip. I thought I was going to get this done. I really did. This is my Lila Styles Ravenclaw sweater bag. This bag. And it is my Hofu cardigan. It is by Hiruko Futsatsu. I'm so sorry, I keep butchering your name. I know I'm butchering it. I'm horrible. But I am almost done. Technically, I would have been done, but I wanted to make it a little bit longer, and I have more yarn for this, so I'm going to make it, I'm doing one more repeat. But I was upset because I decided to count the stitches when I finished the whole sweater to when I was going to add the extra repeat. And I found out I was missing 2 stitches. I decided to decrease on the non-decrease round. On the same side, they were both on. And it was driving me crazy. I don't think you could have seen it, but I was afraid when you blocked it, you could see the difference, because it said it was on the same side of the sweater. Because my son and my husband were running around and calling me, and I cannot work on this when they're doing that, when I do the increase route, because I would just start doing the main pattern. I'm like, oops, I caught myself a lot of times to not catch it twice. So I had to rip it out 2 repeats. So I'm almost done. And what's really cool about the sweater, it's done in one piece like origami. And you just basically, you knit the sleeves like this, and then just 3 needle bind off this part, pick up stitches over here. You bind off all this, and then you pick up stitches. And that's how you get this. And you start increasing. I love it. I just love the construction of this. I would definitely make more of this in other colors. I did it in navy originally because I just wanted it to be something I would wear constantly, because I loved it so much. Unfortunately, it's taken me forever, because I think I cast this on January 1st. So yes, it's been 9 months. No, 10 months now. 10 months I've been working on this. So I want it done. I want to wear this so bad. If I was going to Rhinebeck, I would definitely wear this. And also the yarn is Azula yarn, squishy base, the color navy. The other thing I don't get, it goes from light, say, the colors all fade into each other, but I left this out in the sun, like in my window, and I think it faded a little bit. But then I think the color just fades on and off, so I don't think you could tell, luckily. So I think it all looks fine. Because when I was knitting, I was like, oh my god, it's getting really light, it's getting really light, why is it getting so light? And all of a sudden, it went back to dark. I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. We're good. Having a heart attack with this. So I did not alternate skeins with this. That was bad. I was very naughty. I should have, but I didn't. Here's that one. Okay, and that is all my whips. Now, I've got a needle point to show you, which is another sort of a whip. So, that's my needle point. It is from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I did not finish the tiger because I felt like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little white showing. So I wasn't sure if I could add another piece of thread, because I think you used 2 threads for this. So I wanted to do 3 threads and see if it would make a difference. And so that's why I started the frog. I actually finished the whole frog. And when I did his eyes looked so puffy and black. I was like, I can't do that. It's 3. So I took it apart. It's only like 3 stitches in each eye. So I took it apart and I went back with 2 threads and it looks better. So now I will finish the tiger. It's really cute. This is going to be in my son Nikki's room when I'm done. I swear my son is going to be a zookeeper. I'm so excited if he is. I'm not going to push him, but I think that's what he's going for. 'Cause every day he wakes up and he wants to go to the zoo. My husband's getting a little tired going to the zoo. I get tired of going all the way to the Bronx to go to the zoo all the time. You know, 'cause I'm really a homebody. I'm just like, oh, you gotta go there again. You know, but the upside is good walking, and I get to see animals, so I'm happy with that. So, I don't know, he really loves his animals. So it's really exciting to watch him get so obsessed with something and put a lot of passion. Because most kids, they're looking at cartoons. What is he looking at? He's looking at the TV show, The Zoo, from the Bronx Zoo. So it's really exciting because then we see the behind the scenes of what's going on, and then we go to the zoo every week and we see all the animals and everything. So I love that, and I'm really excited. At the end of October, the yarns are coming back. Yay! I cannot wait for this new show, and I would love to go to Australia Zoo. Unfortunately, it's never gonna happen because I hate planes. I'm terrified of them, and it's a long plane ride to Australia, unfortunately. I want to go so bad. It's just, that zoo is amazing. I would love to meet Bindi and I think Robert is the son's name. They are amazing. They're sweetest kids in the world. Check out their show. Check out the zoo. It's amazing. Show your kids. As I said, I'm very proud of my son that he actually asks me to put the zoo on every single day when he comes home. I do not offer it. He picks it out. He'd rather look at that than cartoons. So I'm very proud of him that he chooses that over it. So at least something educational he's watching. And again, all on his own. Hey. So hopefully Justin will take on that type of thing and be really interested in something with nature and like that better than the cartoons. So at least you're learning something while you're watching TV. And he doesn't really sit there and look at TV anyways. He has it on in the background and he's doing his thing with his toys and everything. And that's what I do with my knitting. I have the TV on, I'm watching a lot of TV shows, and I don't really sit there focused on it. Like a lot of kids, they're like zombies in front of the TV. Me and Nikki are not like that, so it's good. So hopefully Justin will take after us and like it in the background, but not sit there and actually physically watch the shows. But definitely recommend the zoo. Okay, so that's my needle point. I had 2 shawls I'm a little bit upset with. So I tried casting on the Mayhem shawl again by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. I don't know what it is about this shawl. I like the yarn a lot. I'm excited to cast it on. I get to a certain point and I'm just like, I don't like this yarn with this pattern. Second time this has happened to me. The first time was actually from my surprise shawl. I originally just used the pink from it, and I got to a certain point I was just like, I'd rather use this than the surprise shawl. That yarn was actually created for that pattern. So I ended up frogging it and doing it. So now I got this yarn. I've had this yarn for a long time from Gabby of Once Upon a Corgi, and it is Palace of Dreams. It's just not doing it for me. Like, I got this far in it. Oh, and this is from, who is it? Simply Serving, Lindsay of Simply Serving, little raccoon. Love it. But it's just, I don't know. I'm not a tan person. I like the purple in it, and I had to alternate skeins. Again, one is a lot lighter than the other. So I'm actually going to give this to my friend Katie. We're going to do a yarn swap, because I don't need 2 skeins. I'm going to make a sock out of this one. But it just wasn't doing it for me. I'm hoping to find a yarn that can make this shawl. Again, second time I cast it on, I don't know what it is. Oh, and it's in my Cavalier sushi bag, which I made. Love it. And then also I found the other bag I was telling you about that I made currently. That I've been just throwing in the Twinkle Twinkle blanket just when I go out really quick. So that's an easy pattern right now to knit until it gets too big and then I can't carry it. But it's in my coffee Cavalier bag because I love Cavaliers. They're the best. So that has my skein of yarn. And this bag came out really nice. Really, really nice. I think I finally found my size I like. I might want to make it a little bit wider, but the height's definitely good. And it will fit like 3 to 4 skeins in here. But it doesn't look abnormally large. It's just perfect. And I've been really into Starbucks coffee lately, which is odd. I hate coffee. So the only one I'll drink is a Starbucks Frappuccino. And then I'll have an espresso coffee. But I put so much junk in it, it's not really coffee. I put like hot chocolate, sugar, whipped cream, regular cream. It's not good for me. But those are the only 2 ones I like. So I got excited when I saw this. This just reminds me of it. Cavaliers, the sweetest dogs in the whole entire world. I miss my Daisy. So I got those. I'm telling you, this is going to be a long episode. I've got so much to show you. Okay. So my next project, I think these are all cast. Oh no, this is another project I was actually really disappointed in. This is another project bag I made. This is the original size I used to make it in. My Marie Antoinette one. So pretty. And this will hold 2 or 3 skeins. But I like it a little bit wider, I found out. But I don't know. I wanted to do this shawl in this yarn for the longest time. It's the sailing shawl, but Justine Loxolka? Sorry if I'm butchering your name. I'm horrible. I know. And this is going to be another thing I'm going to butcher because I really can't pronounce this. Chico Nico Colors yarn. If you go to Rhinebeck, check out their booth. I can't say the name, but it's my favorite yarn when I go to Rhinebeck. Every year I have to buy a couple of skeins from them. They make all these gorgeous pastels. I mean, look at this. I don't like brown, and I'm obsessed with this. Like a little purplish tint, more pinkish tint to this brown. I'm in love with it. It's the most gorgeous thing. I think this one is gingerbread, maybe? What is it? Oh, no. It's Island Creamery. And then this one is Conch Beauty. The problem with it is this is like a silk base. And this is Stellina base, which usually would not bother me. But I feel that this is much, much thicker than this one. Or when I'm knitting with it, it bothers me. Right now it's not bothering me, so I might continue with it. I don't know. Does it just... See that? Oh, that's again, Simply Serving. It's either Simply Serving or, oh God, what is her name? Sugar Plum Circus now. She used to be Truffle Shuffle. I forgot who made this, but it's only a little witch manatee. Looks so cute. But I'm not too sure if I'm going to continue doing this. So look how flimsy this is, and this is very sturdy. So the border is going to be always flimsy on this, and the main part's going to be very sturdy. I don't know. The colors look gorgeous together, though. And then I tried ordering in the same yarn as this, but then look at the difference in the colors. It's so peachy, and this is so pinkish. Like, you can see the difference. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe this is a bad batch. And if I was going to Rhinebeck, I would actually bring this and see if I could find a skein that would match this, and I'll use this for something else. I do like the peach. It's just, I had this in my head for the longest time that I wanted to do this. And I was just disappointed on the difference between the two. But then again, some bases take the dye differently, so it might be this color every single skein. I don't know. This is definitely more pinkish. Oh, but so pretty. And this is a gorgeous shawl pattern. I would definitely recommend it to anyone. We will see. I don't know what I'm doing with that one. I really don't know. Okay. So that's the end of that one. Now I am doing things... Oh wait, I have one more that I was working on. I actually changed all my project bags to be fallish. So this is my Lila Styles Harry Potter, I don't know, maybe I'll do herbology classroom bag, I'll call it. I don't know. It's so cute. And I made a dent in my bumblebee shawl. The yarn is by Sweet Sparrow Knits. It's Peach Fizz and Garden Rose. I am using a size US 3, 3.25 millimeter. I love when you can read it off the needles. I really do. And I started the little texture thing. So I got little aerials there. Honestly, I had it up to here. I was already on the second one, but I felt when I first started doing it, it was really loose. So I ripped it out. And that was the second time I ripped it out, because originally when I first started doing it, I used the same size needle as this, and it felt much too tight for the garter stitch, because garter stitch is much looser when I knit and stockinette stitch. And also this is a slip stitch pattern, so when I was slipping all the stitches, it got really tight. So I went up a needle, and then I did it messy, so I ripped it out. So I did a lot of ripping out. Another Simply Serving unicorn ombre cake I'm using as a tell me which is the right side. Sometimes it's a little, like now it's easy to tell, but this pattern was a little hard to remember which was the right side, which is the wrong side. But isn't that cute, that pattern? If you get it right, it comes out really nice. But I would definitely recommend going up a needle and then having your tension a little tight so the slip stitches come out nice looking. And when you're doing it too, you think you're not doing it very well until you actually finish the whole row of arrows, and then you're like, oh, it looks really nice. But if you don't do that, it'll drive you mad, because I know when I was doing it, I was like, I don't like it, I don't like it. But it comes out really, really nice. Here, I'll show you one more time. It's just so pretty. Unfortunately, I hate knitting this section. I am not a fan of slipping so many stitches because it's just not enjoyable for me. So this is going to take me a long time to get past this section. And then there's another section of this later on in the shawl, and there's a lot of stitches on here. So this is going to be on the needles for quite some time. It's definitely not going to get off anytime soon. This might end up being one of those projects that just linger for years to come. I don't know. It would be nice to finish it. It is beautiful yarn, and I'm dying, and it is a beautiful pattern. I would love to wear it. We will see what happens in future. And also, I have to do the slip stitches when my son is sleeping, because I do not want to drop anything, and then I'm like, how do you put this back on the needles? Do I have to rip out the whole entire section? That's what I'm scared of. Not really. It's too much pressure. It's really too much pressure to do. Alright. So, this is my utterly adorable Halloween bag. And I have cast on, again, my doodler shawl from Stephen West, sorry. My husband's name is Stephen. Or maybe it's Stephen West. Sorry, I'm really tired. It's been a long few days. Something happens every time I cast this shawl on. You can't see the stripes when you first start doing it. You can see them now. It's coming out much better now. But every time I cast this on, I think I went through like 20 colors, and you were just not seeing those stripes in the beginning right here. Now I see it, so I'm very happy with it. And I'm just love these colors together. I am using, what is this color? This is, again, my favorite Rhinebeck yarn. Can't pronounce them because it's an Indian name. Chinchgonogi. Every time I pronounce it, it's different. Colors, Storm at Sunset. It's gorgeous. Look at that. Then the gray is Poe from Wool and Vine Yarns in the Blitz base. And then my other colorway I'm going to do for the Bling a Color, he calls it. It's going to be Sweet Sparrow Yarns Sage. Again, I'm obsessed with these two colors together, which you'll see in another shawl I'm making. But I'm hoping to get this done, but I'm almost done with this section, and look how small it looks. I don't know if I should rip it out and make it bigger. I'm getting nervous. Usually his shawls are very big, and as I said, when I knit a shawl, I usually go down a needle. So I stayed at the needle size he did, because I knew it was one of his smaller ones. So I'm using a US 4 3.5, which is the call for in the pattern, but I'm still getting nervous. I'm trying to contact other people to say, 11 wedge, can you measure how long it is? Am I doing this right? Again, those would be blocked, mine will not be blocked. If I subtract an inch, I'll know if I'm doing it right or not. But it's really beautiful. It's going to be a nice, subtle doodler. Very subtle. Oh, this is some Simply Serving too. a little turtle. But look at all the ends. Oh my gosh. And I'm scared to sew them in because I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I might make it bigger. I don't know. I just don't know what to do. And I'm loving knitting this. It's so much fun. I definitely would recommend this pattern. I'm just having problems deciding on what colors to do. I know a lot of people make it like crazy and outlandish, but I just wanted something subtle so I would wear it constantly because I'm not really a crazy outlandish color person. I'm more pastel-y. So, I don't know. I don't know if I should rip it out or not. We will find out what I do with that. This one, oh my god. I can't. I just can't. This is A Girl's Best Friend by Isabella Kramer. This just sings to my heart. I can't even. I'm knitting this. I'm just in love. I went on vacation to Hershey Park, which I'll tell you more about later. And this is how far I knit. From here to here. Again, the Simply Serving is a little hedgehog. But that's how much I did while on vacation. I was very proud of myself. And the yarn is Woolen Vine Yarns Spice Cider. If you can get this colorway, get it. Oh my god. I can't. Now, the green is Sweet Sparrow Yarns. I think it's Alma. Is it Alma? Yes, Alma. And then the next color is her Blackberry Mousse. And they are in her Magpie base, and then the cider is in Woolen Vine's Blitz base. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. I'm like obsessed with green and purple and green with pink. But how gorgeous are these together? I'm not going to stop wearing this. I think this, my Windesmere, and my, wait, what's the other one from Stephen West I made? Exploration Station. I'm not going to stop wearing these three shawls. I can tell you that right now. They're just the most gorgeous things ever. And look at these little teardrop pattern. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? I love it. The only thing is I can't do this when my son's around because the teardrop part I'm nervous about. You have to make 5 stitches, and when you do that, I'm scared when I have to pick it up that I'm going to lose a stitch, and then once I lose a stitch, I feel like I have to rip up everything. So it's going to be a little hard to do this when he's around. Oh, and this is in my Lila Stiles Hermione / Harry Potter bag. She's so great to do that for me because I said I don't need that many red bags, but I just love these 2 embroideries on them. So she put them together. I'm very excited about that. And for my last project, I know, right? This is craziness. I just cast this on last night because I was alone in the house. Both boys were sleeping. My husband went out to drive his mom home. So I was able to cast on. I didn't get too far, unfortunately, but this is the Baba hat by Donna Smith. I have a picture of what it's going to look like. I'm going to teach myself to do color work. I'm so excited. That's what it's going to look like. So the bottom part is going to be this purple, and they're all the same yarns. I got, ooh, it's all wet over here. It will not stop raining lately. It's horrible. And then I got the cream for the sheep. And they don't have the, what do you call it, the colorways, they're numbers. So this is 00101. The purple was, where is it? 00158. Again, this is Rowan Pure Worsted Yarn. The pink is 00116. That's going to be at the top of the hat. And then the feet for the sheep is going to be the black. And then that number is 00109. I have this all written down in my show notes. You could go on the Ravelry page for episode 21 show notes. It will be in there. So, oh, and this is also my Slip Stitch Studio bag. The little, I love knitting. What's it say? Knitting is my happy place. It really is. It really is my happy place. So I'm trying to teach myself color work when no one's around. Didn't work out too well last night. I don't know why this is happening, but they want a size 6 needle, And when I did the gauge, it was like 23 stitches for 4 inches. I ended up getting 5 inches for the 24 stitches. So I went all the way down, and I did some more, and it still went down only half a needle. So I went all the way down to a 2.5 needle. And then I realized that I should have done this, if I wanted to do the main body of the hat in a 2.5, I should have went down to a 2 for the ribbing. I already started this, so I'm just going to see how it goes, how it looks. I'm not going to fight it. If I have to rip it out, I have to rip it out. I feel like I'm ripping out a lot lately. It's really aggravating, but I'm teaching myself how to do this, so I probably have to rip stuff out anyways. So we'll see. Oh, and this is my Simply Serving gingerbread spooky house. I love Halloween. But we'll see how it goes. Right now I just got the ribbing on here. And the good thing is too, I can also try it on because it's not a double point needle, so I see if it really fits me or not. I don't know. But I'm looking at my show notes to see if I got everything. I think I got everything. So that is it for what I have knitted and crocheted. If you want to stay tuned for my exciting bat story. There is a story about a bat, I will tell you. Also, I want to tell you what I'm reading. I got to read a little bit today. I'm really enjoying this. If I can find out what the name of it is. It's really cool. It's sort of like Once Upon a Time, that TV show. But, I can't find the thing because I'm losing the pages. Oh, it's called A Princess Companion, a retelling of the story of the Princess and the Pea. So they're doing a new twist on the old fairy tale classics. She has a lot of these books. Let me see what her name is. What is her name? Come to me. I missed books. I really do, but they take up so much room. Elena Kalir is the name. She has all these books. It's like crazy. Like, look how many books she has. I bought a few of them. They're really cheap too, so I definitely recommend it. You can only get it on the Kindle, unfortunately. I have a Nook, and I prefer reading on that to the Kindle, but I do what I do. So let me tell you about my story about the bat. So my husband unfortunately lost his job about 2 months ago. Right after his father died, the company Lovely decided to lay him off. So we don't have too much money right now. And then we decided to, well, my mother had a seizure. I'm not going to get into too much details. They couldn't figure out why she had it. I think she had it from stress, going in and out of the cars to go to the doctor's visits, because just random, you don't need to know the nitty gritty about that. So while she was in a rehab facility, the hospital was nice, they're like, let me put her in a rehab for a little bit, see if she can get a little bit better, and then you get a little break. And I was like, okay, because I've been taking care of her for 3 years. It's like, yes. So I can't go on vacation. And originally we were going to try to go to Disney, but because my husband lost his job, we couldn't go to Disney, unfortunately. And luckily my son's at the age where he can't, I mean, he's probably, like, if we said it, he'd be upset, but he doesn't realize time or anything. And we just stopped talking about Disney, and he has no idea that we're not going to Disney this year. We're hoping next October to go to Disney. We don't know. We will see what happens. That's when we postponed the trip to, because it costs a lot of money for us to go on. We paid for the whole trip, but then I need money to pay for someone to take care of my mother when we go away. And we didn't have that money, so we had to postpone. And unfortunately, the rehab would not keep her in there for that long. I was very upset about that, because I thought, oh my God, it's like the perfect timing, because Medicare will pay up to 100 days, but they were like, oh, well, she had a stroke 3 years ago, we're looking at this, she's still at the same thing. Meanwhile, she didn't have physical therapy for 3 years, you know? And they didn't care, they just sent her home. So while I was waiting for her to come home, I said, Stefan, we gotta go on vacation. This poor kid has never been on a vacation. You and I have not been on it for 5 years. So we have to take this a chance. I know we don't have money, but we have to go. This is ridiculous. So we went up to Hershey Park for 2 days. And it was really cool to go away. I felt, for the first time in a long time, stress-free. And you know I have a lot of stress in my life, because I take care of my mother and I have 2 little boys. So it was really nice to just get away and relax. Again, I didn't get to do too much knitting. But the night before we're going away, I asked my mother-in-law, could you please watch my dog? And my dog is all four of my puppies were prima donnas. My aunt used to feed them chicken cutlet parmesan from a restaurant. She would get 4 meals. Not just one chicken, no, 4 chicken parmesan meals she would bring home. It would be more than our meals to feed my dogs. That's how prima donna they are. So if I feel like, especially now he lost all his brothers and sisters, if I put him in a kennel, it would break his heart. And he's very anxious. He can't be away from me. He wrecks the house when I leave the house. More stress that when to leave the house, I have to worry about my mother and I have to worry about the dog wrecking the house. But he's very, very attached to me, which is nice that someone loves me. But it gets a little bit like, oh my gosh, you know? So when I was in the hospital, when I had Justin, my husband came home to a mess every single day. So I was like, can you please watch him? So we thought we were going to get over the drama of dropping him off at nighttime to my mother-in-law's house. So we could get home, pack, and just go straight there so we could spend the whole entire day there on Friday. Not in my world. No, not in my world, people. There's got to be drama. There's got to be. I swear to God, I don't look for this. It happens. So we're ready to leave, 10 o'clock at night. We're leaving my mother-in-law's house. What happens? My husband opens the door. A bat flies in her house. That's right, people. A bat. A baby bat flies into the house. My son is permanently traumatized for it. My dog was like, what the heck's going on? And I'm just like, get in the bedroom now. The 4 of you, get in the bedroom. So I get them, my 2 kids, my mother-in-law, and the dog in the bedroom, and we go in the basement to see where the bat flew into. Because the way my grandma's house, my mother-in-law's house is, it's like you come in, you go downstairs to the, not really a basement, but the sinking level, or you go upstairs to the main part of the house. So we went down there, and the bat's like just on the eave, like right next to a door. But she has a chair in front of the door. So I'm like, if I try to go there and move the chair, the bat is gonna go flying. It's not gonna not move if I move that big heavy chair, because it's a big chair. And I was like, I don't believe this. And if I try to move it from the outside, like just try to bang open the door, it's still gonna scare the bat, and the bat's gonna go that way instead of this way. So it's just so frustrating that he was right in front of the eave. And me and my husband are looking at this, and we want to get him out, but we're scared because of rabies to try to scare him out. And I was like terrified. I didn't know what to do because I don't want to get bit. You know, I'm like the biggest animal person. I'll go near any animal, but I know bats have rabies, and I do not want to get sick. And I could have probably gotten it. If I had a net, I probably could have gotten the bat, but we didn't have a net. So we're calling people. We're calling. It's like around midnight at that point. And finally he was like, go home, take the boys, and go pack. And I'm just like, we're not going on vacation. We're not going. No way. The fates are against us. We're not going on vacation. He said, we're going on vacation no matter what, we're going. Just go home. I'm going to try to convince my mom to come over because she will not leave her house. Like, she will not sleep over someone's house. Ever since my father-in-law died, she's become very, like, I'm staying in the house constantly. Like, it's like pulling teeth trying to get her to leave her house. We even have to go about, not like 40 minutes to an hour to get her. And we bring her all the way back, and then my husband has to bring her back. You know, she will not leave this house. So he's fighting with her to get her out of the house, get some stuff. We had to bring poor Spunky back to the house. He doesn't know what's going on. And they come around like 3 o'clock in the morning. They show up. So the next morning comes, 9 a.m. She jumps up. She's like, I'm going to meet the guy. She leaves. And she forgot her cell phone in the house. Yeah, she forgot it in the house. So the guy called, never showed up. So she's sitting in her car from 9 a.m. to around 11. Because when we finally got up, we felt bad waking the boys up so early, and it was just a big mess at that point. So we're like, we're gonna just go there late, go and enjoy the hotel, because we don't really get to enjoy things like that. So we went over her house. She's still in the car. And I was like, I don't want to leave Spunky in the car because he's very hyper, and I'm scared of him running away. You know, because he's not used to not being away from me. He never leaves the house. He's a house dog. He stays in the house, you know. I was very nervous leaving him. So we waited around until like 12:30, and we're finally like, we gotta go. So she was actually really nice. She was like, just go. It's okay. Go on vacation. You guys paid for it. You know you're not going to get the money back, and you guys don't have money. So we went. By the time we get to Hershey, the guy's still not there. This is ridiculous, and he said he was coming. So then he finally came there around like 4:30. Oh, and also I went in the house to go in the house to get something, and the bat is in the same exact spot. So it's a little baby bat. He's sitting he never moved. So it's beautiful that he never moved or anything. So the guy, when he calls, he's going to my husband, oh, there's a lot of point of entries in the house. You need to, get rid of this. It's about $3,000 to do that. And he's like, well, I'll talk to my mom and everything. So I said, did the bat do anything? All of a sudden, he goes to me, oh, you don't understand, lady. This bat, it's very dangerous. You don't know how dangerous it is. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you need to get rabies shots. Everyone in the house needs to get rabies shots. You all could have been bitten. You don't know. I'm like, how would you not know if you got bit by a bat? You would feel you get bit by a bat, So he's going on. He's scaring the crap out of me. I'm like, my poor dog. So the dog gets bit. You don't know if he got bit. So I'm freaking out. I left Spunky there. I'm freaking out. My mother-in-law is there. But at least she would know if she got bit. Spunky, you don't know. So I'm like, the whole vacation, I'm a little like on edge that we left him. And the guy got me so nervous. I'm like, are we all have rabies? Like, what's going on? But I'm 99% sure the bat flew in the house when my husband opened the door because it was right above his head. We've never seen a bat in the house before. We don't hear anything. There's no droppings. And he said there was a colony of bats. I'm like, well, get rid of them. Oh, there's no bats in here. So how's there a colony of bats in the house and there's no bats? This guy was trying to get money. So it's just really aggravating. So we're really nervous the whole vacation. And then we get there and it's so late we can't really do anything. So the only thing is there's a zoo, and I thought it was gonna be a big zoo like the Bronx. It was like I paid $30 to go in the zoo, and they're like, oh, if you go get the pass for the park, it's included with the park. But I was like, oh, we're not gonna have time tomorrow to do it because we're only gonna be at the park for one day, and the next day we're gonna be at Chocolate World. Not realizing Chocolate World is very fast and the zoo is very fast. So I paid $30. My son was so excited to go to the zoo. We did it in 30 minutes. And I go to is there any way I can get a refund? Unfortunately, the manager left. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll deal with it. But it was just like 30 minutes. Right. I think it was less than 30 minutes, honestly. He ran through that zoo. He was so, excited to be on vacation. He couldn't understand we were staying in a hotel. He was just so happy. It just made me so happy. He went in the pool. He hasn't been able to go in a pool all year because my mother didn't open up the pool. He was just, you should have seen how happy this kid was. It kills me I can't take him on vacation all the time. But we went there, and the next day we went to Hershey Park. He loved it. My husband actually thinking maybe we could, if he doesn't mind driving 3 hours, drive all the way to Hershey Park and then come all the way back within one day. Because it's a pretty big park and everything. But if we leave early, we could probably do that if he doesn't mind driving that much. I don't like driving. But we'll see what happens later on in the year and everything. But he loved it. And then, of course, it started raining. Yeah, it rained the only day we were at the park. But then my husband saw a sign saying you could put the park tickets towards a season pass. But unfortunately, it's not like Sesame Place where you put it towards season passes for next year. It's for this year. But we're not going to go back this year. I know it's physically impossible because it's going to get bad weather soon. We're not going to drive all the way to Pennsylvania in this weather. So when he was talking to the lady felt bad for us. So she goes to us, she's like, do you want rain passes? Because we were giving them out, even though it was 10 o'clock at night when we were over there. And we're like, okay. So we ended up going to the park the next day, and we didn't leave until late at night. So we picked up Spunky on Sunday at midnight. So it ended up being a really good vacation. Very exciting that we finally went on vacation in 5 years. Even though it was only for 2 days, it was still wonderful. Every day we had to go to the zoo. I was so bored with the zoo. It's not like the Bronx Zoo. If you get to the Bronx, go to the Bronx Zoo. It's amazing. And also none of the animals are really in cages. This zoo, everything was in cage. The one cool thing, it was all animals in the United States. So that was really cool. But then again, I live in the United States, and most of the animals I see in my backyard. So it wasn't really, the only thing that really was wow was the mountain lions. I'm not near mountains, so I don't see them. But, I see bears, I see skunks, I see foxes, groundhogs, coyotes. I see those every day, deer. So I wasn't really that impressed with the zoo. And again, I don't like when I see animals in cages. I like conservation zoos as opposed to real zoos. I have a real thing for that. I've always wanted to be in conservation. Who knows, maybe a miracle will happen, and when my kids go back to school, I will get a job at the Bronx Zoo and be a conservation activist. I don't know, because I think I have to go to school for it. And unfortunately, I went for drama, and that's a whole nother drama story. Maybe that's why my life's still full of drama, because I went to school for it and I never used it. So they're like, let the fates give you drama in your real life since you can't act now. But yeah, so I don't know. I wasn't impressed with that. The park was really nice. I would definitely recommend going there. It was a lot of fun, even in the rain. And I enjoyed the whole thing. But that was my story of the bat. Seriously, what are the odds? Odds, I can't even talk anymore. That a bat flies into your house. My odds, yeah. Pretty much mine. So. Oh, and I got one thing I did buy. I've been good. The only thing I've been really buying every so often is progress keepers, which you've seen on my projects, is from Simply Serving, because she has really cute ones. But the only thing, I haven't bought yarn in I don't know how long, because of everything with my husband. But Gemma Darling, who's Danielle, is doing a D-stash. Oh, and check out her podcast. She is so much fun. Oh my gosh, I love her. But she was doing this, and I saw this skein yarn. It's Little Bean Loves. I actually used, not this colorway, but this yarn in my Marianne shawl pattern. And the colorway is Luna. It's everyday sock, 4-ply, 463 yards, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I fell in love with this. And what stinks is, earlier in the day she had, she showed all the pictures of the D-stash, but you couldn't order it until I think it was like 4 o'clock or something like that. Then you could say sold, and then you buy it from her. I don't remember when anything is. I don't do shop updates. I got 2 kids. I don't remember anything, so I missed it. So I wrote to her and I was like, when I bought this, I said, do you have any more Grimm? Because she had Grimm in fingerling weight. She said, no, I only have Grimm in DK I might have. So she found 2 skeins of it. And I said to her, I would love to get both skeins, but I can't. So I'll just get 1 skein right now because I can't afford 2 skeins because my husband lost his job. She is so sweet. Oh my gosh. She gave me this one for free because of, she said she got this as a gift. So I could have this and I only had to pay for this. And then I think she did it at a discounted rate. But I got 2 skeins of Grimm. I'm going to make a hat and glove set with this. And I think I have Grimm in my stash. So I can make a shawl with it. Actually, you know what would be really cool? Or if I don't have it, I'm going to try to get it eventually. Grimm, and I'm going to put it with my Evil Queen yarn from Wool and Vine. Those will look really nice together because I can't think of anything else to pair the Evil Queen with. And I don't like 1 skein shawls. So I think that would be a nice set to have. And I just love this. I'm not a yellow person, but when I saw how light the yellows are, it's just so pretty. I love this skein. So thank you so much, Danny, for this. Oh my God. I love it, love it, love it. It was so sweet of you. She's such a sweet person. I can't believe she did this for me. But that she even went in her stash looking for the Grimm in the first place for me, but she didn't have it as a D-stash. And then she gave me this for free. It's just, that is just so sweet. I can't. She does a lot of D-stash on Instagram. Her thing is Gemma Darling's D-stash, so definitely check it out. I'll write that in the show notes too about her. So she does a lot of D-stash. She buys a lot of yarn. I'm so jealous of her yarn stash. I just want to like move into her craft attic, she calls it, and just live in there. She has like every hedgehog fibers, like everything you can imagine she has. It's just, watch her podcast. You'll see, like, you'll go yarn crazy. Let me tell you, it's amazing. So, but that's all I want to show you. How long is this? This is really long. I'm so sorry. This is really super long. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will, again, try to do a podcast the first week of next month. Pray my husband gets a job because it's getting a little stressful because he's been out of work for only 2 months now, but he's getting very antsy and he's driving me a little crazy. Yeah, a little bit crazy. So pray he gets a job soon, and then I could get yarn. But he did promise me. He did said when he gets back to work, it might be my birthday and Christmas gifts. We haven't really been buying each other presents for the last few years since we had Nikki. We only buy stuff for him. So he did say that if he gets a job, he will get me from Sweet Sparrow Yarns her Fading Point shawl kit. Oh my gosh. And my mother said she would buy me the for Christmas. It's from it's a Hohi Locatelli pattern, craft vent. It's from Jimmy Bean Wools. They have this kit, and it's so pretty, but it's really expensive. But she said she was going to get that for me for my birthday and Christmas present. So I'm really excited about those two. So if he gets a job, I might get that. And maybe I'll get a birthday and Christmas present. Who knows? But I definitely want that. And it's beautiful yarn. So check out Sweet Sparrow Yarns. She makes gorgeous, gorgeous pastels. I love it. And again, because my husband lost his job, I am unfortunately not going to Rhinebeck. I am very Anyway, last year I was very devastated. I was not going to Rhinebeck. I was going nuts because he had to work and I had no one to watch my kids. And I was like losing it. I'm more zen. Like, I don't know if you can see, I'm very, very calm today. I don't know if I just have low energy or what, but I'm very, I came to this decision on my own. I said to go to Rhinebeck and not spend money, it's a little crazy, and then you're just torturing yourself. You're looking at all the yarn. But I would like to meet the podcast. Like, Danny's going to be there. I'd love to meet her again. I met her and I didn't know who she was. I thought she was Kristen from Villavine's sister, because she was working for her, and I didn't realize who she was at the time. So I was talking to her, I didn't know. So now I know who she is. And I know the Crazy Sock Lady's going to be there, and the girls from the Yarn Cafe. Again, all these podcasts, check out. They're so, so good. And I know, again, Julie from Sweet Sparrow Yarns is going to be there. And I'm going to miss not seeing them and talking to them. Because I talk to them online a lot. And it stinks I'm not going to be there, but then I'm just like, do I want to torture myself to go there and not buy yarn? And then if I do buy yarn, do I want to feel guilty that I spent yarn when I could be spending it on food or buying something for my son that he needs? I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And I do go crazy when I go to the festivals. And originally I wanted to go to, oh God, what was it? I can't remember the names of the show. Indian Untangled, and then there's another one that goes on from, it's another show that goes on the Friday, and then the 2 days of Rhinebeck. So originally in my head I wanted to do all 3 days. Technically I could, because my husband's home. I could go up there by myself. But then I feel guilty also leaving him home to take care of the 2 kids and my mom, and just leaving him. I don't do stuff like that. I do not. I take care of the kids. I take care of my mom. My husband does take care of my oldest son because he gravitates towards my husband. But I don't feel it's right to go out and leave him alone and make him deal with it. I really don't leave the house. So I was just like, I feel a little guilty going away and then spending money, and I don't have it. So as of right now, I'm not going to Rhinebeck. If he gets a job before Rhinebeck, quite possibly I might go. I don't know. Even if it's just for that Saturday, just so I can meet people. I don't know. But that's my thing. And I'm not upset. Like, I'm not even, it's weird. This year I'm not even excited about Rhinebeck before I even made the decision. I wasn't going, oh my God, Rhinebeck, oh my. I was like, okay, yeah, okay. You know, so it's so different how a year goes by. It really is. Like, I can't believe the difference of me from last year freaking out. I can't go. How can I not go? It's the only thing I look forward to the whole year. And then this year being like, okay, whatever. I mean, it's going to stink probably the day of. I'm going to see it all on the thing. Also, not going to Disney stinks. So I don't know if, like, the week of Halloween, I'm going to be absolutely devastated. I'm not going to go see the, you know, the Hocus Pocus show that they have. Or I think it's Mickey's Not So Halloween. They had a whole Hocus Pocus thing. I love Hocus Pocus. So, I don't know. As of right now, I'm good. I'm calm. Very calm, apparently, today. Oh, it was really funny. I brought my mother to the doctor's, and the doctor, he offered me Prozac to calm me down. And I'm like, no, I just can't get the medication for her, and it's aggravating. And he's just like, you need to calm down. So, he'd be very proud of me today. I'm like, ooh. You know? So, that is my story. That is my life. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast and the crazy bat story. And I hope you will tune in next month, first week. Your fingers crossed I get to do this. My life is crazy. But thank you so much, and have a wonderful fall, and knit lots of things. Bye!